Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This will be my first video, and I wanted to talk about something that's a huge part of my running, which is recovery. I'm going to go over all the things that I personally do, things that have helped me to recover for workouts, races, to stay healthy and to be able to train consistently and stay healthy throughout the season. I'll also include my pre-race routine, just what I do to prepare for a race, so that when I get onto that starting line I'm going to feel as fresh as possible. And just ready to go. So right after any race or hard workout, you always want to do 5 to 10 minute cool down. I usually do 15 minutes for workouts and also races, which is around 2 miles, but you don't have to do that much. And then after that, every night before bed, I always stretch. So my stretching routine takes around 25 to 40 minutes every night. But if you don't have as much time, some nights you can also just shorten it, only do some of the stretches. But it helps quite a bit. I gained a lot of flexibility from doing these stretches, even very quickly. Just in a few days of being consistent with it, you'll immediately notice the flexibility and feeling a lot fresher. And I noticed that a lot of my pain started to go away, especially in my hip flexors. Something that can also help stretching go a lot better is going for a quick walk. Just walk the dog or just go for a quick walk or shake out right before. So your muscles are already warmed up and can go into the stretch easier. So most people have like a bunch of stretches they do, and they're a bunch of common stretches. But I have 4 stretches that have helped me the most, and I haven't seen most of these anywhere else. So yeah, hopefully they're helpful, and hopefully they can help you. So the first thing you want to do is get your mat. I usually double layer this just so it's softer surface, but you don't have to. First stretch is kind of like a lunge. It's for the hip flexor, if you ever have any tightness in the hip flexor, right here. So you just go 5 minutes on each leg. You can start out 2 minutes each leg if it's harder to do 5. You can just build up to 5 over a couple of days, but every day you want to just do 5 minutes each leg once you build up to it. And so you just want to get into stretch like this, basically like a 90-degree angle, or you just want to have your knee pretty much straight right here. Push your hips forward, make sure you feel a nice deep stretch right here. Also another thing to note is you want to have your back leg right here be as straight as possible with your body. You don't want to be like out of a line, because that's going to mess up the stretch. And then start timer, and then you can put your hands here, but don't rest your hands. Don't just put your weight here. You want to just put your hands here for stability, just a little bit, but you don't want to put all your weight on your hands. You want it all to be stretching out here and here. And usually during this time, I'll just watch a video, because 5 minutes just to stare at a mat is pretty boring. Alright, and that's 5 minutes done. Also another thing you can do with the stretch is you can take your foot more out here to the right, and then put your arm here, and then just stretch more of your inner hip flexor, and then you can also come out here and try to stretch that way, just to get a deeper stretch there. I sometimes do this just in the middle of the 5 minutes, because you get a little bit tight, but just to loosen up. When you get out of the stretch, you want to go really slow. You don't want to just get right up out of the stretch, because you've been doing it for 5 minutes. So if you get right up, you risk getting injured, or just slowly scoot your toe back, and then slowly move back and get up like that, and then move on to the other side. And you want to just go slow, be careful. Alright, 5 minutes done on that side. We're done with this stretch. Okay, so for this next stretch, it's for your quad. It's a very good stretch. I usually do it for 5 to 10 minutes each side, but I would just start with 5, since 10 minutes is a lot of time to just put towards one stretch for each side. So I usually use one of these. My dog chewed this one up. It's really bad, but I couldn't find the clean, nice one, so whatever. Just have to use this for the demonstration purposes. Make sure your leg is straight and aligned like this, and then start going back, and you can just move your calf muscle out of the way a little bit so it's not in the way of the stretch. Just put it to the side like this, and then make sure your heel is right to the side of your butt.
right here. So you put your right butt cheek on top of the block or whatever you call them, I forgot, but like yoga blocks. And then you want to just lean back till you feel a nice deep stretch in here. Yeah, I haven't done a stretch in a couple days, so I'm a little not that flexible. I need to like do it for a while to get back into the stretch, but I could use a second pillow back here for my back, and you do this one for 5 minutes. And I also usually watch a video during this, but I don't have enough time to do the full stretch for demonstrational purposes. So then when you come out of it, you just want to get up really nice and slow here. And then you slowly come forward. Very, very slow, because this stretch is really easy to get injured if you like go out of it fast. And then for like 30 seconds, you want to just yeah, I could actually really use another pillow here. I'm not flexible enough at the moment to just be using this pillow. So yeah, this stretch is great for your quads, and it's also good for your shoot. I don't even know what this muscle is called. On to the next stretch. Okay, so for the next stretch, you're gonna want to use a rope. You can do it without, but it's just easier to do it with a rope. So you're gonna wrap it around front of your foot like that, and then it's the same as just a normal like. When you stretch, you just pull the rope. You want to push forward with your foot like this. Provide like a medium resistance. You don't have to like push too hard, but just a medium resistance. Just solid pressure there, and then you want to also pull back on the rope with your hand at the same time. So you're just creating pressure here, like that, and then you want a good posture. Your shoulders back. You don't want to be like this. You're not gonna get a good stretch like that. You got to be upright, good posture. Then you're gonna want to flex your quad while you do this stretch, which is very important. So you're just gonna do this one for 1 minute each side. So you're gonna flex your quad, make sure to keep this tight, good posture, and then start the timer. You just gotta make sure you stay engaged throughout the entire stretch. All right, minute done. Just relax. Slowly switch to the other side. And do a stretch on the other side. Alright, time's over. Done with that stretch. Also, another way you can do it is just like this. Yeah, you just want to press forward with your toe and pull back with your hand so it stays engaged there. Okay, so for the next stretch, it's just your normal stretch like this one that everyone does, but instead of just doing this, again, you're going to want to flex this quad right here, like medium. You also want to flex your anterior tibialis, which is this muscle right here, and you do that by basically lifting up your toe to flex it, so like this. Flex your anterior tibialis, flex your quad, put your leg over, and then you're bending down, you're reaching for your toes, and then you want to take your front leg and you want to press it against your back leg and provide resistance throughout the entire stretch. So you get a way deeper stretch, and it's way more effective than just normally doing this and just hanging here. You also do this stretch for only 1 minute, so it goes by quick, and helps a lot with the hamstring and just loosens up your muscles a lot. All right, minutes up. All right, time's up. There's also one more stretch I completely forgot about. This is very simple. It's mainly just for preventing shin splints. If you've had them in the past, or if you do have them, this is what I've done to help with it, and it's worked for me. So you want to spread out your toes like on the mat like this, then sit on your heels. Make sure there's a good stretch in your Achilles, and you just come back and sit on your heels like this. So you're stretching out the arches of your feet, and then also your Achilles. And you can just sit here for just like 2 to 3 minutes. Just a good stretch to do. Another very important part of recovery is your nutrition. So you always want to be eating enough. A lot of people don't eat enough. You need a lot of food so your muscles can recover from all the training and running that you do. You just want to have a very like carb-loaded diet and try not to use as many processed foods as you can. But this is a shake I always make, and it's a bunch of calories, and it's just an easy way to get in 75 or 80 grams of protein depending on how big you make it. So it's a lot of protein. It's very good. I usually have this right after a workout, and I just get in as soon as possible because you want to have within like 30 minutes of a workout, you want to have some protein. So this is what I usually do for that. Also, quick side note, I would not have a protein shake like the night before a race because you don't want to feel like overly bloated. But like 2 nights before a race, you know, like coming up to the race, it's fine, but just not like the night before because you're going to feel kind of bloated in the morning, at least in my experiences. Also for races, carb loading can help. I usually have pasta or my favorite food, which is pad thai. But for me, I like to carb load 2 days before a race, not the night before. You can do it the night before, but if you have like a really early morning race, just make sure to eat it like 4 or 5 p.m. and don't eat it too late. Otherwise, you're going to feel bloated when you try to run in the morning. So I recommend if you have a race on Saturday, like say Saturday morning, carb load Thursday night instead of Friday night, and you'll probably feel a lot better. Another thing to note is that you want to just have a lot of carbs in general. Then like it's not as important to carb load because as long as you're getting like enough carbs in your daily training, you shouldn't need to carb load as much.
Now, for one of the last parts of recovery, I usually do this right before I take a shower because it's kind of painful to go to bed with frozen legs. But you want to take an ice bath. You don't have to do this in normal training. I usually did whenever I had a really hard workout and wanted to be fresh for the next day. But just mainly for when a race is coming up, it's just something that can help flush out the legs, and I usually feel quite a lot better after it.
Just a quick side note real quick. Definitely do not do an ice bath right before you run. It will really mess you up and very dangerous. You could get injured this way. So just do it like before you go to bed. That's the best way to do it.
Now, my ice bath is unfortunately broken right now. There's like a leak in the pipe right there. Very, very tragic. So I gotta fix that before I can use this. So I won't be able to give a tutorial on ice bath, but I usually just do 10 minutes up to my chest and then get out. Or you can do like 2 by 5 minutes. But if you have a hot tub, the most optimal thing to do is to start in the hot tub, do like 3 to 5 minutes in the hot tub, and then you do 3 to 5 minutes in the ice bath. And then you just do that. So you hot tub, ice bath, hot tub, ice bath, hot tub, ice bath, and then hot tub. So I do like 3 rounds each. But usually finish in the hot tub just for like 30 seconds just to warm back up because it's really painful to like go to sleep right like with your legs just like absolutely shivering. So yeah, so you can either end in the hot tub or just take a shower right after that. But something you can also do if it's not a race and you have the hot tub and the ice bath, if you have a sauna, that's where it really gets good. So you can go hot tub and then you go to sauna, and then you get out of the sauna, you like rinse off, get the sweat off, and then go straight into the ice bath. And then you can just rotate between the 3 for however long as you want. I usually just do like 2 rounds or 3 rounds of that. I don't do that before a race because like a sauna before a race kind of takes some energy out of you, but it's just for like heat training, and then I don't know, I just feel really, really good after it. So I would not do the sauna. I would not do the sauna right before a race, but just in general training, it's great to incorporate into the recovery routine. If you unfortunately do not own an ice bath, I know a lot of people don't because they are very expensive, and I fortunately got very lucky and had a friend who just had bought an ice bath and like never used it, so they just said, oh, here you go, you can have this one. So for most of you, you'll just have to use your bathtub and fill it up with like 5 things of ready ice or whatever. But they're getting really expensive, so it's really worth it to invest in an ice bath. You can buy like cheaper ones that are only like $200, and it's a great investment. Also, if you do happen to have a gym membership, a lot of gyms have hot tubs and saunas, but I don't know any that have ice baths. But if you can find a gym with an ice bath, that's a plus.
Another thing you can do is use massager on your quads and calves, which helps a lot. Just makes them feel a lot better. Secondly, you can use a foam roller to just roll out your legs. And then another thing is just put your legs up on the wall for 10 minutes or before you go to bed. And you can even start falling asleep while you do this and then just go to sleep afterwards. But yeah, those are the last two things you can do.